22-year-old male. I am more intelligent, more capable of leading, and more likely to be successful than anyone else watching this video. I am a university student who spends all their money on alcohol, and my time is obviously spent at parties, constantly. Why, you may ask? Well, I went to a private school, so I obviously received a greater education than you. I'm in university, so all I do every day is drink and party because that's what we do here. Now that we all think I'm obnoxious, I would like to point out that these stereotypes are not my views, but are actually stereotypes that the media has portrayed. Stereotypes are widely held but fixed and oversimplified image or idea of a particular type of person. Stereotypical thinking implies overreaction to information that generates or confirms a stereotype, and underreaction to information that contradicts it. Depending on what group you belong to determines whether these are positive or negative. For some of us in society, it is a daily battle to diminish these stereotypes which are entrenched into our thinking from an early age. For Indigenous Australians, this is their battle. Some of the first Australians are lucky enough to have an outlet in which they can challenge these notions, but this is not the case for everyone. One such challenger to Indigenous stereotypes is poet and comedian Stephen Oliver. In this video, I'll be using Oliver's poem, I'm a Blackfella, to highlight some common stereotypes about Indigenous Australians, and we will also analyse why there needs to be a stronger voice to confront and deny these notions. Now, stereotypes cause major issues for minority groups worldwide. This is generally because we see these portrayed in movies and TV shows. Normally, this is for comical effect, but for the naive proportion of society, these comic skits turn into an actual representation for a larger group. Astonishingly, there are people who watch a cartoon which includes an Indigenous Australian drinking and causing problems outside a pub, and they think that the entirety of the first Australians behave this way? Can we see the problem here? Studies conducted by Bianchi, Hubert and Hauser, Jenks and Phillips, Misers and Lull, Rosenthal and Jacobson suggest that stereotypes lead towards lowered expectations and perceptual biases which influence students' academic success. How ridiculous is that? Just because a teacher believes that Indigenous Australians are less capable in the classroom, they will be taught differently, which will fulfill the teacher's notion of lower intelligence of the Indigenous Australians. This is just one effect that stereotypes have on the first Australians. There are many more examples that you may notice in your own life experiences. This daily occurrence forces those that have a voice to speak up, like Stephen Oliver. I'm a black fella, not a drunk, criminal, textbook, uneducated, unemployed, welfare defendant, slack fella. This is the opening line of I'm a Black Fella. Oliver's challenge to Aboriginal stereotypes. In this line, he brings forth the most common stereotypes he would face and dismisses them as untrue. He then continues with, when you try to tell me about what it means to be Aborigine with your stupid ass jokes, stereotypes, and discovery challenge mentality, does this line not sum up what the issue with stereotypes are? Does it not explain why minority groups have grown weary of this comedic convention? It's all about attitudes. It's about people with ill-informed views who switch on the TV and suddenly, out of their blue, they know all about me. Again, we see Oliver not pulling any punches and saying what many Indigenous Australians wish they could. Oliver concludes the poem with, "'Cause I'm a black fella, not a drunk criminal, textbook, uneducated, unemployed, welfare defendant, slack fella. And I'm trying to put your minds on track, fellas. So question yourself. Challenge ideas, start a revolution. Are you part of the problem or the solution?" The repetition from the opening line of the poem emphasises his point. Not all first Australians are the same. The following 3 lines are the takeaway for the reader. The concluding message that Oliver wants to stick in their minds. These literary conventions allow for the most effective delivery of Oliver's message. To emphasise how effective these are, I will conclude in a similar fashion. I am a white, 22-year-old male. I am more intelligent, more capable of leading, and more likely to be successful than anyone else watching this video. I'm a university student who spends all their money on alcohol, and my time is obviously spent at parties. parties, constantly. Now, this is not the real me, but who I am supposed to be, apparently. If you use a stereotype as a joke to your bro, or to show you're well known, think first about who it's about. Because for those people, it hits home more than you may ever know.